There's two reasons why this chair is here. One, so I can do that. And the other reason is because try to get in the habit of, whenever you are speaking about culture, to always pull up a chair, an empty chair. This is called the ancestors' chair. This is a chair for the ancestors to come and sit down and enjoy the lecture as well. An empty chair is always welcomed in the spirit world. Those that understand some of the more ancient ways, you know, you could get even more elaborate with this. Put up an altar, put some fruit on it, maybe a picture of the ancestor that you're thinking about. That can go right there as well. But what I like to do is always have an empty chair. And the chairs that are empty next to you are probably being filled up by spirits. Now, I mentioned this at the beginning because this is not your normal lecture on hip hop. We are going into a more metaphysical, spiritual, philosophical approach to hip hop. It's more controversial, I must say, at the beginning of this. I don't mean to offend anyone at all, but there's the door. If you are offended at all, no one is keeping you here, locking you here. The doors are open. If you could just get up and leave. Hip hop. What makes you a hip hop scholar? The short answer is what the ladies had put together here. Ladies in hip hop. I think that's what the name of it, or the discussion actually was. The so-called female MCs that were here. It's a robust discussion on that. I don't, wait a minute, are any of, yeah, it's one, right. And I'm trying to look and see, are you an MC? You guys down here or something? No, just, well, maybe, okay, I can't see really, but the ladies that were here, there was another panel that was up here, and one of the things that were being discussed was women in hip hop. What makes you a hip hop scholar? Well, the fact that you could start right there. The ladies that were up here were all hip hop scholars, all of them. Why? Because they were the culture itself speaking about itself. Let's start right here. Why are they hip hop scholars? Because they are the culture itself. Let's start right there. Now, you can't be a scholar about nothing if you're not it. If you can't say, well, I'm not really hip hop, but I'm going to write a book on it. Well, I'm not really hip hop, but I'm going to speak about it. I'm not really hip hop, but I'm going to do a film. Or I really belong to something else, but I'm going to just do this. Now, you can do that, but it's not called scholarship. To be an expert on something, you have to become it. There is no objective learning in existence. There's no such thing as looking at something and then saying you're an expert on it. You have to be that which you are an expert on. Now, some subjects you can study objectively. You can look at something, observe it, and then form a hypothesis based on your observations. But cultural knowledge is never objective. You can't look at a culture and say, I know what it is. Or to be more accurate, you can't eat a slice of pizza, then say, I'm an expert on Italian culture. Or most people say, well, because I had a plate of spaghetti and meatballs, I can tell you about Italy. This is what is happening with hip hop. This is what happened with scholarship, period. But this is what's happening with hip hop's particular scholarship. People who are not the culture are teaching you the culture. This is the beginning of what needs to stop. This is also why I'm giving you this today. Every one of these is identical and different. So The signature is there, and just so you know, it says certificate of attendance. This is an official hip hop practitioner's certificate. You're practicing hip hop for real after this lecture. When you are speaking to an authentic hip hop scholar, the first thing you get is proof that you were here. You get proof, evidence that you went from one state of understanding to another state of understanding. What makes you a hip hop scholar? I am hip hop. Now, I've read 10 books. I've been to the concert. I rapped in the studio. No! You are it itself. First, get the feeling. Get the feeling first. Now, if you need a word in scholarship for it, this is called cultural anthropology. If you was to take it to your university and they say, oh, what are you studying? They say, I'm studying hip hop. I am a cultural anthropologist studying hip hop. I am living the culture of hip hop and studying my living of the culture. That's anthropology. You are a cultural anthropologist entering hip hop. If you want a title according to the university academic system, that's where this type of learning would go. It would go under cultural anthropology. I am I'm studying the culture that I'm living. In order to study the culture, I have to live it. What makes you a hip hop scholar? I am the culture. That's it. Now that I am the culture, there's no external knowledge for me to go get. I'm the knowledge. I'm it. When I lift my arm, that's what hip hop does. If I walk over here and stand over here, this is where hip hop has just stood. If I leave this table, a chair, and come over here, the hip hop just left from here. This is now also hip hop history. I just created it. This is recording me. Everything's recording right now. My man got a camera going. History is being made right now. If I say history is being made right now, look at my hand, look at that. History is being made right now. Okay? That's in history. That's history. This is hip hop's history, not a book. There's no book. You don't read hip hop's history. You are hip hop's history. You are the living embodiment. You go like this, hip hop went like that. So if you robbing and stealing and lying and calling yourself hip hop, then you are making our culture do that too. Any act you take, you taking it on behalf of a total culture you represent. If you say, I am hip hop, then you're gonna start lying and cheating and stealing and being racist and prejudiced and greedy and selfish, and you're making our culture that. Now right away, if you say, I am hip hop, I love hip hop, this is what I'm about, you'll never bring these vices to your culture. There's no reason to try to be moral or try to follow some sort of rule. It's not about that. It's about self-awareness. The stove is hot. If I put my hand on the stove, I burn my hand. I don't need to be disciplined around the stove. I have awareness. The awareness is, if I go next to this heat, I'm going to get burned. That's just awareness. No one says, with no heat around, we freezing cold, and someone says, you know, if you put heat, if your hand goes next to the heat, you're going to burn it, but you're in ice, you're in snow. So this becomes theoretical knowledge. It's all theory now. You know, if we had something called heat, what's heat? Well, it's this thing that's opposite of cold, and oh, wow, now you got, and if you had that, no, be the culture right now. That. I'm it. Okay. I feel like it. Now the beginning of your study. The study of your feeling. The study of your being. The study of your identity, your essence, your culture. I am the culture. I'm studying myself. Now, I am the culture, I'm studying myself. It may sound easy now. It makes sense because we're talking here, we're really out of context. We're discussing heat in the car. I am the culture right now, but Monday come around, Monday morning say, I am hip hop on Sunday. Monday come around, I'm not hip hop no more. What are you now? Well, I'm an employee for Mr. Charlie. I work at CCZ Fabrics and I work here. What do you mean I? You just said I was hip hop. You said I am hip hop. Now, Monday come and that same I is now something else. The second part to being a hip hop scholar is to be hip hop all the time. Okay, come back again. Just give me a moment to think. You gotta take these in. You gotta take them in. You're hip hop all the time. 24 hours, 7 days a week. You are hip hop. Now that's hard to do. That's hard. I have fun with it myself. But I'm privileged to have fun with it. It wasn't no fun thing in the beginning. In the early days, before the celebrity and the hot records, and now, back in the 70s when we said, I'm hip hop, and the cops was like, no you're not, hands behind your back, let's go. Okay, this was a whole different time. I am hip hop and I'm hip hop all the time. So many people went to jail just on that attitude. So many people got beat, hurt, unjustly accused, inconvenienced in the court and the legal system just because they said, I'm gonna be hip hop right now. I know nobody else here is, but I'm going to be this right now. What a hard thing to do. And anybody who does that is a true hip hop scholar. Anybody who could claim in their history that there was a time when hip hop was not popular and I was repping it to the fullest before it was popular. That is a hip hop scholar. Not just an artist or a dancer and these are great too. Don't belittle dance and art either. But scholarship is a little more than celebrity or your talent, skill. It's about how you think. Do you have the courage to even be you? This is what it means to be a hip hop scholar all the time. Well, you gotta have courage to be a hip hop scholar all the time. Mr. Charlie's looking for his work. You don't have the work because you was out DJing till 4 in the morning and you had to be at work at 8:30. Now you're there, you don't have what Mr. Charlie needs. So you stand up at that moment and say, I am hip hop. That's why I'm incomplete. Or do you say, oh, Mr. Charlie, I'll have that paper in before lunchtime. Don't worry about it. Please, Mr. Charlie, don't, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Charlie. No, not at all. Thank you for this, though. And you know what, no, take this back. Because I can't even drink it, I got nowhere to put it. Thank you. We'll drink it in thought.
You know we have it.
Went down. Be hip-hop all the time. Do you have the courage to be the real you? You have the courage. And look, underline the word courage. That's why I'm putting out these examples. To be the real you, you may get arrested doing that. Seriously. Like somebody say, yo, you know what? I'm gonna be the real me. I'm gonna take this mask, this social mask off, and I'm gonna act like the way I really want to act. You may get kicked out of school. Yep. You may get fired at your job. You may get locked up for insanity if you act like the real you. Do you realize that what we call sanity right now is actually insanity? That the definition of being sane is knowing yourself, having some sort of self-knowledge. I'm aware and cognizant of myself. But every day you walk out in society, you're not being yourself. You're being a social construct. Stop at the light, say something, good morning to people when they walk past, walk on this side of the street, that side, walk on the street. Why we don't just walk on all fours on the street because we like to? Why don't we just crawl on the street? Humans can crawl. No, we've been socially indoctrinated to walk along the street. You think you're just walking because you want to walk. No, you've been trained from very young that this posture, this movement with your body is the only way to walk down the street. Why you don't skip down the street like this? Oh, because you're immature. Oh, because you're childish. Oh, you're insane. Oh, you don't look right. Oh, but this is another human movement. We're being trapped into what we believe is sanity.
There you go.
What we believe is sanity, and what we believe is sanity is really just some conformity to something you respect. Something you respect. You say the authority is the police. They are here with a badge and a gun, and this is how they're going to do it. So right away, you just do whatever they say do. Imagine that. So now the person who says, no, I'm not going to follow the law. That person's the criminal instantly. But no one really thinks about the validity of the law. No one really says, well, is that a good law? Exactly. Who made that law up? What year did that law come into existence?
Damn.
What was the purpose of that law when it was actually put into place? Does that law still matter to? No, we don't think about none of that. All we go is the cop said. Now, of course, when a civil servant comes to you and says, listen, I need you to do this for the good of society. Of course you try to be that man or woman, that civilian, and try to hold it down and say, yes, the ambulances are going by. Let me let the ambulance have its way and go by. Fire truck going by. Let me try to get out the way. I'm being a civilian. I'm not being controlled by the lights and the sound. I just know that this person might need to really get in front of me right now, so let me just back up. That's civility. You don't have to be forced into that. But most people are not civil or civilized. So law has to be placed upon people, has to be put on people, because nobody wants to act right. Nobody wants to unite. Nobody wants to be a good neighbor. So the government has to make us good neighbors. And they make us good neighbors by putting laws on us. You got to do this, you got to do that, you got to go. So all these laws, because your neighbors don't want to be neighbors, has you not being yourself. You're not being yourself. You're being whatever the law says, whatever your paycheck says, whatever your family says, whatever everybody else says except you. Mm-hmm. You're being everything everybody else wants you to be except what you really want to be. And this is the first thing to understand about hip-hop scholarship, not just that you are hip-hop itself and wherever you go, hip-hop goes, but that can you be that all the time? Can you do that all the time and allow things to disappear from you? Allow family and friends to leave you because you say I'm hip-hop or whatever? Really, you can say whatever. I'm an attorney. Everybody else says I don't like attorneys, you shouldn't do that. What are you going to do? No, I'm not going to be the attorney now. What most people do is just that. I really know, I got rap skills. I know I could do this. Man, I'm going to these concerts. These dudes on stage is whack. I know what I can do right now. But then you go back home or wherever to your authority. You go back to what you believe is the authority. And you go back and the authority always tells you, no, you can't do it. No. You can't do it. No, it'll never happen for you. It happened like this for them, but you, no. And this is the biggest part. This is what holds us all back. And this is the difference between a hip-hop education and a regular public education. Public education doesn't inspire you because it's not meant to. It's meant to de-inspire. Really, public education is for you to respond reflexively to authority. That's it. That's the purpose of public education. Just summed up 12 years for you right there.
There you go.
Public education, when I say jump, you say how high. That's it. Nothing about your culture. Nothing about the cultures you see every day in society. Nothing about law, medicine. Nothing about any. These things are more important for you to know than any historical figure of your country. There's no reason to know the history of your country. I know that sounds crazy. I told you I was going to offend some people. This is where it starts right here. What do you need to know the history of your country for? There's no reason. You are the history of your country. Modern day history right now. Your grandmother could tell you more about your country than any book written ever. This is who you should be talking to. This is who you should be getting your knowledge from. Knowing about this guy invaded this, and this is the king of that, and the queen of this, and this is useless information. Useless. And your brain is shoved with this, stuffed with this for 15, 20 years. After a while, you don't know who you are. You think you're Queen Elizabeth. This is like, and this is what is called insanity. This is insanity, but it's called sanity. Because if you could quote the history of the Dutch, for instance, and the Dutch did this and the Dutch did that, you're considered sane, civil, educated. But what you're actually studying is useless. Useless. Now, I say this. Please hold your applause. I say this. I say this respectfully. I gotta say this respectfully. Okay? Of course you need to know Dutch history. Let me say that for the record as well. We all should know something about the lands in which we live. My point is, when you put that knowledge up against self-knowledge, cultural knowledge, inner being knowledge, this knowledge just does not hold up anymore. Just doesn't hold up. What you need is courage to be you. You need a reason and a right to stand on for you to be you. That's what hip hop is. For the first time on the globe, this is such a brilliant culture. For the first time on the globe, people, well, first of all, for the first time in the globe, more and more people are living in urban environments. This is for the first time in human history. We've never lived in so many urban environments. Like there's 7 billion people on this planet. Most of them, like 6 billion of them, live in urban environments, like in cities, with going through the same things you guys are going through in any bustling city. The urban environment is becoming bigger and bigger and more and more. The suburban environment is shrinking, shrinking, and becoming less and less. What is growing is the urban environment. And the consciousness of all urban environments in the world is hip hop. Get this, I'm gonna say it again. This is fact, not fiction, not opinion. This is fact. Every urban area on the planet Earth is governed by hip hop. That's it. Go to any urban area. What's cool about the area? What makes the area look like an area? What the people are listening to, what the people are trusting each other with is hip hop. Doesn't matter what race, ethnicity, age, class, doesn't matter. You go to India, they have a caste system, at least the Hindus have a caste system. All the castes are into hip hop. Pakistan, hip hop. Muslim, hip hop. Christian, hip hop. Jews, hip hop. There's a group called DAM, D-A-M, that has an Israeli DJ for a Palestinian MC. Their country hates them. They can't even leave the country. They're stuck. They got to record one half of the album in somewhere, in Palestinian land, and then try to send it over to the Israeli side to finish it up. This is what hip hop is doing in an area where the adults can't seem to get it together. The adults are talking, the Israeli this and Palestinian that. The Palestinians don't want peace. The Israelis don't want peace. This one don't want. But the kids already got together, already figured it out. It's called hip hop, and here's what we doing: sing, 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 sing. So my man choked up, and this is it. We already figured it out. Every urban environment you're gonna go to on the planet Earth, what the people are trusting is hip hop. Now nobody's gonna tell you this, because the enemy is never gonna say he lost. You're never gonna hear your opponent go, okay, I lost, you got it. The EU has collapsed. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the collapse of the entire European Union. The European Union is over. Collapsed, finished, done. The euro has collapsed, finished, done, along with the American dollar. Done! But because we're all walking around with past knowledge, this is the only reason these people are still in power, is because we believe. See, you don't. The only reason these people are in power is because we believe in them. Have you ever asked yourself, how does one person get a whole army to go fight? You ever ask yourself, like, how does one guy sitting behind a desk go, we're gonna go to war? This guy never goes to war. The one claiming war never be the first one on the horse leading the way, never. We're going to war, and who goes to war? Hip hop. That's who goes to war. You look at any of these, look at your army, look at the US Army, look at the UN Army, everyone in it, young folks blasting hip hop. In the tanks, hip hop. In the planes, hip hop, hip hop. And what's happening? We getting our minds snatched. They didn't want to be in a war. You ask any one of them Iraqi soldiers from anybody's country, why are you here? None of them are going to say, because I just want to kill Iraqis. None of them are going to say that. They're going to say, yo, I was trying to go to college. I was trying to send money back to my kid. I thought I can get a skill doing this. All of a sudden, now I'm in this mountain with a gun. And I'm trying to get out of here, really? I'm trying to find any excuse to leave. That's the truth. The soldiers are not there fighting for some cause. They're trapped. They signed a bad contract and now they're out there. That's the truth. But we're not getting the truth because we're afraid of the truth. Because to even see the truth, you have to be your true self. You can't even see the truth unless you're true. But if you're not going to be true to yourself, then seeing the truth is impossible. You have to be truth to see truth. What makes you a hip-hop scholar? What makes you a hip-hop scholar is the fact that you can be hip-hop all the time. All the time. You can be it all the time. And that means you're going to lose your job. That means you might have a different relationship with your family. Maybe. You find sometimes when you stand up for yourself, the ones that love you stand with you. But as long as you was fronting, they was fronting. As long as you didn't know, they didn't know. But the minute you go, I know, you'd be surprised your family be like, well, I know too. Yeah. Sometimes we judge too quickly. My pops will never be into this. My moms don't understand that. You'd be surprised what your family understands and don't understand. But do you have the real courage? Because you may lose your family, them not understanding. You may lose that job. You may wind up in prison. What if an angel came? Last point on this point. What if an angel came and you was praying, you said, I want to be the greatest DJ ever. I'm going to be the greatest DJ ever. And you prayed on it. Then the angel appeared right there. Boom, right there. Here I am. What's your problem? I want to be the greatest DJ ever. Then the angel says, now look, you're going to be the greatest DJ ever, but I want to show you how you're going to get there. First, when you walk out this house, you're going to get shot in your leg. What? No, you're not going to die. You're just going to get shot in the leg one time. What do you mean? You're not going to die. You just have to take the pain of this shot in the leg. You're going to heal. And after that, when you walk outside, you're going to get hit by a car. You're not going to die, though. But the guy that hit you is going to be your record producer. That person's going to feel so guilty, they're going to make the greatest record for you ever, and that's how you're going to become a DJ. Now the dream folds, and now you're left with a decision. If you knew that you was going to get shot in the leg and ran over by a car, but that was going to be what made you a star, celebrity, successful DJ, would you still do it? You're going to get shot in the leg. You know this. You're going to walk outside and a car going to hit you. You know that. But in the end, you're going to get what you want. Would you go through it? Would you go through it? This is the question right here that you got to ask yourself, because most people, it doesn't matter. This is not a right or wrong. There's no morality to this. This is an issue of character. Character. Who are you? Who are you? Yeah, I'll take that shot to the leg. I don't want to get ran over by no car, but I will take the shot trying to avoid the car. I don't want the car, but I will take the shot. Who are you? The reason I bring this out is because this is why many people don't make it. They don't make it because they know they're going to get shot in the leg and ran over by a car. So they say, well, I can't even see my success. That ain't going to happen for me. So I'll just stay here with Mr. Charlie. Because I don't want that shot in the leg. I don't want to get ran over by a car. Okay, Mr. Charlie, what do you need? This is how we're living every day, just like this. The minute you say, I'm going to get rich or I'm going to die trying. Oh, yeah, that's that line, isn't it? I'm going to get rich or I'm going to die trying. I'm going to get where I'm going to go. I'm going to be dead in the street. Once you get that attitude, you become successful right from when you say it. People didn't like how 50 said it. So let me give you somebody else in history. Give me liberty or give me death. American. Forget his name, either Thomas Paine or Paul Revere, one of these guys. Give me liberty or give me death. Get rich or die trying. I'm gonna die on my principles. All of it's the same thing. If you're afraid of pain and suffering, you'll never be anything in life. You'll never be anything.
It's fine.
Most people today, 99% to be exact, don't want no pain in their life. Don't want no suffering in their life. So they don't get what comes after that. We all look at the celebrity, and the celebrity says, you know, he's celebrity or she's celebrity. But just before you say, I'd like to be like that, first get their biography. I guarantee you read anybody that you admire, anybody that you say, I would like to pattern my life like that. I would like to arrive at that level of success for myself. Read any of their stories. You are not going to want to go through what they went through to get there. Read any of the stories. Well, first thing, my mother died. I was close to my mother. Are you ready for that? Are you ready to sacrifice your moms for your career? And I mean sacrifice her. The angel comes and says, yo, moms has to die for you. Now you go away to the room again, messed up. Moms? Yes, for you to be a DJ, your mother has to perish. And your mom's the only one here with you, the only one holding you down. This is what it is. She got to go for you to be a DJ. Would you do it? Most people say, hell no. I'll just sit here. Mom's is staying with me. That's why nobody's making it. If you're prepared for your mother to go, your children to go, you could be a celebrity. If you're prepared to give up that job, give up that whatever you believe is the authority and make yourself the authority, man. If you're willing to believe in yourself, the courage of that is that you may have to lose everything around you to get it. Now, I bring this into the part where it says hip-hop scholarship because the study of hip-hop is not only inspiring, but it's transforming, it's self-transforming. This is culture. So when you're studying culture, you yourself are changing. Your parents might not understand you. Your friends, your students, other employees, they may not understand you because you're studying something different from what they're studying. So the last part to this discussion of being a hip-hop scholar, the last piece to this, one of the things that even come before courage is love. If you love hip-hop, love will figure all that out.